We'll try to implement a wireless communication set, which is a transmitter and a receiver. So before going to that, let us see some important considerations in a wireless communication and what are the parameters that are needed to be taken care of. So a wireless communication set would basically include a transmitter and a receiver, or we can have wireless communication established between several wireless nodes deployed. A typical wireless node would look something like this. It would have an MCU interfaced with the help of a radio, and the radio is going to transmit the signals with the help of an antenna. So the microcontroller is going to interface to the radio with the help of any communication protocol. In this case, we have considered an serial communication, which is a 4-wire SPI interface. So the basic considerations for the development of any wireless application would be range, data rate, gain and maximum power level, receiver sensitivity to check for the line of sight limitations, if any, and the frequency of operation. After defining these application requirements, one can go for the selection of any device. And he needs to implement a transmitter mode and a wireless on a receiver node. So if we implement on a controller, the firmware of the state machine of the transmitter and the state machine of the receiver are implemented on different units. Before going to the flowcharts, let us have a look at what are the physical parameters one needs to configure for developing a radio. The transmitter radio talks to the receiver radio in the form of packets. So for both of them to communicate, they should be lying on the same channel with the similar PN codes, which agreed upon data rate with an agreed upon frame length. So these are the basic parameters for the communication to be successful. Now, if we look into the transmit flowchart, we should start the radio module, transmit the data, and check if the transmission is successful or not. It can be done by the help of an acknowledgement or trying to loop back the data. If the transmission is successful, we can end the transmission and start transmitting new data again. If there is an error, then there is a need for retransmit. Similarly, if we consider the receive state machine, the receive state of the radio should be checked if it's receiving some data or not. Once the data is received, we need to check for the data is valid or it is the intended data that is to be received. If the packet is received with error, then we need to abort the radio and start receiving again. If we have received the right packet, then we need to move the packet to the buffer and the application would take control of it. We will see some causes for the failure later on while we consider the Cypress PSOC and the radio for the development of our application. Now, we'll have a look at the firmware and the user modules used in the project. If we consider a simple transmitter, the transmitter here is implemented on CY8C29666, which is a PSOC1 module. It has the analog and global resources which can be viewed from the chip view as here. In this case, we made use of an ADC module, PGA module and an SPA module. This project basically transmits an ADC data from the transmitter to the receiver. The receiver receives this ADC data and displays it on an LCD. Now, there is a streaming communication, which means an uninterrupted communication. On the fly, as the value of ADC changes, the value gets transmitted and displays on an LCD. So, the basic modules required would be, inside the PSOC would be an SPI master module, as the PSOC acts like an SPI master and the radio acts like an SPI slave. The PGA is used to increase the input impedance of the ADC states. So if we consider the parameters to be configured, the user module parameters of the ADC are like this. The global parameters are as shown here. If we consider the PGA parameters is as shown here, the pin settings can be configured in this way. Now if we move into the actual firmware implementation, the firmware would basically include initialization of the parameters. Here the hardware is initialized, the radio parameters are initialized. If we move into the initialization code, it would be nothing but starting the user modules. Inside the initialization of radio, the physical parameters we have discussed, like the channel, PN code, data rate, the ACK enable, that means if an acknowledgement has to be received after the transmit is successful or not. This is the next state the transmitter goes into after the transmit is over. These parameters decide which all other frame length parameters which have to be set, which are the power level parameters, etc., which we have discussed. So if we look into the transmit flowchart, initially the ADC data gets converted, the samples are received continuously. Here we are waiting for the end of conversion, taking this ADC value, inputting into the transmit payload buffer of the radio. Now we start transmitting data, check if there is an error or the transmit is complete, and accordingly if the error occurs or if it is complete, we end the transmission and we start retransmit. We also use some status LEDs to check the flow of the program. Now we look at the receive side. The side would be continuously listening to what the transmitter is sending. So if we consider that the PSOC would have a master, similarly the radio would be the slave. The slave would be communicating to the SPI master, and the data will be displayed on an LCD. So here we see the parameters of SPI. Similarly, the parameters of LCD module are as here. The global parameters are configured in this way. The pinout configurations is in this way. If we look into the firmware, it would also have the initialization of the hardware like the transmitter and the initialization of the radio, and we check if the receive state is complete. Then we check if the receiver state is with received packet or without error. If it's without error, we are going to process the data and display it on an LCD. If the receive data has error, we need to abort the radio and start a retransmit. Now, after developing these codes, we need to build these projects from here and program the devices from here. While programming, make sure that you have selected the same device as on the chip. We can see this in the next video. We are going to see the hardware demo of the same, and if we are facing any problems in observing the exact required output, some of the tips and failures have been discussed here. So if you are failing in the transmission, we can use some LEDs to check the firmware if the flow of firmware is correct. If we think that the SPI is not working correctly, there is a RSSI value, residual signal strength index, which can be read from the radio. If this part can be read successfully, then we can assume that the the SPI communication between the microcontroller and the radio is happening properly, because for every read of SPI we need to write into register of the radio and start reading back. So If we are able to transmit and receive but not the correct data, then we need to make sure that all the initializations, the physical parameters, have been set in the same order and the program execution is in the same sequence, because if there is a time delay between both of them, there might be errors in receiving. So sometimes we may try unsynchronizing the serial clock, unsynchronizing the serial data clock to the sys clock, because over a period of time the S clock might go out of sync. These are some of the tips and failures for implementing this project. I hope you need not make use of this and implement the firmware properly and achieve the outputs as shown in the hardware demo. This is it, and thank you.